Welcome to Fullerton College Football on Sportsnet, USA.net. As we travel on down to the San Diego area, we're at Palomar College and their brand new, beautiful stadium here. And we'll look at it just this simple way. They decided to make something pretty, attractive, useful, and they spent the money to do it. It's state-of-the-art down here. And it's two teams, Corey, that, well, they might be passing in the night because Fullerton has struggled all year long. They haven't found any offense. And if they did, it belonged to somebody else and they had to give it back. And that's what the defense has been, our offensive set this year.
And this is going to be, and you're absolutely right, this is going to be a make or break game for both of these teams. They're both 3-3. Hornets come in 1-2 in conference play. Palomar 2-1 in conference play. But the winner of this game, nope, they're not, the other team is making the playoffs. But you're looking to get to a bowl game. I consider a bowl game a playoff game. So they're looking to get into the playoffs, bowl game with the win today. That'll go a long way for either team.
If you look at it statistically, I mean, on paper, they're even. Neither one offensive stats pop off a page. So, do I say again, if Fullerton wins, it's all on Brian Crooks' defensive side?
I'll start with Palomar. The way they played against Saddleback in their last win, 20-14, they got up early, and their quarterback, that was Andrew Tapley, looked like he had more control of the offense. So I think it's going to be the offense of Palomar. If they can move the ball against the Fullerton Hornets, they got a good chance to win. And they got to score at least 3 touchdowns. The way Fullerton's been playing offense, it'll go a long way.
Yeah, and when you think about it, this is the game, and I'm sorry, I know we're repetitive, but maybe if you throw 5-yard out passes, find a tight end. We do have tight ends on our team. Then something will finally turn off. Fullerton is going to receive to kick off to start this game off.
Duffy and Bills as normal.
So let's get ready for exciting community college football here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Duffy's going to take it. He's at the 10. Goes the outside. Turns the corner. Trying to get a block. Cuts the corner at the 40. Gets taken down the 45. Nice return. Great starting spot for the Hornets.
40 yards on the return and a good key block initially to Springham.
Looks like the ball's going to be spotted on the 42.
And we'll set up both offensive line. Marcus got the rest. I'll take the defense.
Xavier Hicks comes out here to the near side of the field. Toby Schmidt at quarterback. Elvis Vakapuna at running back. First down and 10 at the 42. Vakapuna straight up the middle. Huge hole up the middle. Cuts over the 45 down to the 47.
And that's an excellent first play call because it allows the offensive line, hey, we got some confidence here. We feel that we can move the ball.
Schmidt looks over. Aiden Bravo to the near side of the field. Schmidt looks over. Second down and a long 3 right at the 47. Vakapuna straight up the middle again. He hits the 50. Are they going to mark him down? They're going to mark him down at the 49, move the sticks.
And that offensive line, Mikado Walker is the center. The left and right guards are Michael Kitchie and Hayden Frazier. The left tackle will be Preston Jeffs out of Lakeland in Idaho and Braden Cook out of Boulder City in Nevada.
Desmond Duffy is on the far side of the field along with Xavier Hicks. White, if it doesn't get broken, keep it up. Toby Schmidt fakes it to Vakapuna. It's a foot race all the way down to the 4-yard line. We have 2 flags at the 38-yard line. Holding probably against the Hornets. Let's see if they bring it back.
There is a flag down on the field.
So something you've talked about Schmidt more than once, actually taking off running if there's nothing else there.
Because he can do it. We've seen him run. He's athletic athletic enough to get down the field and turn that corner, and that was his most aggressive run since Santa Barbara.
Turn to play.
So they're going to mark it off
Holding
from
was
the
called on
38.
That happened during the play.
Takes it
They're gonna
back
mark the ball on
to the 46.
First down and 7.
So it's going to be 1st and 7, and so far the running attack has worked. Bevenu comes in near side of the field. Bakapuna off a right tackle, runs into 4 people, hits the 40 for a gain of 5 on the play.
6-yard gain on the play.
Get some of those.
I'll bring up a 2nd down and 1.
That defensive unit up front. Jacob Sisson.
2nd down and 1 for the Hornets. They look over. Jordan Gatewood on the far side of the field, the tight end. As they get signals from the sideline. So keep running that forward right up the middle because it's working right now. Bakapuna this time runs into a wall and doesn't get back to the 40.
And he's brought down by Jaden Latua, wearing number 8 in black. Also with Jacob Sitson, Moshi Talea, and Kavion Hicks up front.
Xavier Hicks along with Duffy comes in the game. So Hicks, Duffy, and on the other side also a ball because that's what's working. Don't put it in the air if you don't have to. 1st down and 10 at the 38.
And the other 2 linebackers with Latua is going to be Petey Patrick and Andy Devine.
11:59 to go here in the first half. We just started. Slight little breeze out here at this beautiful field at Palomar. First pass behind Bevenu. Schmidt rushes it, has nobody on him, could have taken a breath, thrown it, and led the receiver. Incomplete pass.
And Bevenu says, hit my hands, I should have caught it, but again, it was behind him. He was picked up by James Coddington on the outside. Also, one of the safeties is Tucker Murphy, one of the team's leading tacklers. Lucas Valencia is the safety.
2nd down and 10 at the 38. Justin Honore now in at running back for the Hornets. Honore with a little more speed, a little more giddy up. If he can get through tackle the way Bakapuna did, linebackers better be able to make a tackle. We get a timeout on the field. With 11:49 to go, we're sitting at 0. It's the Hornets 0, the Comets 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And we'll round out that defense for the Comets with Isaiah Dixon, one of the slot or nickel wide receivers, and the teams and the SCFA leading interceptor so far this season, Davian Green, a 5'10 sophomore from El Cajon, Granite Hills High School.
So when you look at what the Hornets have done and you see what they've done so far on the ground, Corey, they're not really a prolific running team. Bakapuna averages 65 yards a game on the ground. And we've had running backs that would be 4th stringers averaging 65 yards on the ground.
And the thing is, they could be. You really feel that these final 4 games is where they're going to establish and get at least one more 100-yard rusher in 2 of these games. You hope for 4.
Honore comes back out at running back. 2nd down and 10. Throw it, never looking for the football was Xavier Herbert.
Pass is incomplete.
Run a slant pattern, he doesn't look for it.
3rd down.
So it's going to be 2 passes, 2 incomplete passes here on sports@usa.net.
And you just got to go back to the run, get on the outside. We saw Schmidt turn the corner on a 3rd and 10. You pick up 5 here, you go for it on 4th down, even though you got an honorable mention kicker for the player of the week this season.
This time they run Honore off of tackle, no yardage on there. And we've already been told that we may see 55 yards attempt today for the simple reason because he hit 52 in practice. They're punting the football. Ryan Osborn is with us. Ryan will be on the air in a little while, but we got told if it was close, Brian Crook said, we got to put points on the board.
Look for a fake here then. Charles 2 weeks ago was a special teams player of the week. Last week he could have gotten it as well. He was just honorable mention.
So
Sky Donnell is back.
Big foot all the way into the end zone. And it's going to be a touchback. So they really didn't pick up any yardage. They thought they were going to move to a new apartment complex, and they realized they should have stayed where they were at, and the rent was cheaper.
You know what they had? They had that static pricing. So what happens at that apartment? Yeah, I saw the ad for $1,700. Sure, same apartment, $2,100. And that's what they got. So Fullerton's defense comes out up front. Damian Bergueno, Romeo Zuniga, Chef Boyd, and Chris Harvey up front. Ethan Charpentier, who's third in the conference in tackles. Malcolm and Naborn.
Comets come out, first down and 10 at the 20. Throwing it over the flat. Pass just off, tried to get it out the left side to Tate Reed. Reed doesn't come up with it. So it's an incomplete pass.
Mo Gamage gets to start one more time, back healthy on the near side. Bryant Meredith on the far side. Perry Williams to fourth. Strong game last week. And Antoine Johnson Jr., who's first team all-conference.
Second down and 10 from the 20. Throw it out in the flat. Tackle made immediately on Donald, who comes out over there in a little swing pattern. So it's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. It's going to bring up third down and 11.
And that's Meredith, who's one of the most physical corners we've seen this season.
O.J. Jones comes in at running back. Gave the wrong person. Chris Bosch, my mistake, in at running back for the Comets. Going back, throwing across the middle. Again, a missed pass on that, Corey. He had Jake Whitehead wide open on that play.
And the rush, the pressure by Chris Harvey and Zuniga got there just in time to force him to overthrow it. Because, yeah, he put that step on Meredith and got open at the first down marker.
So Cowgill will come in to punt. And we'll see what Bills can do with it when he gets it as he stands at the 40 for your Hornets. Playing a return. Bills watches a beautiful punt. Takes it on the dead run. Goes the outside. Staggers back the 50. Bill steps out of bounds right across the 45 all the way down the 44. Again, back-to-back good coverage. We have a player hurt on the field. So with 10:06 to go here in the first quarter, it's the Hornets 0, the Comets 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Last night, if you were watching maybe Football Fridays on Hornet Radio or Hornet Media, you saw that the Hornets now have one of the most prolific soccer teams in the history of the school this year. And when we talk to the coaches, I'll have Ryan Osborn get on the air with me here because he's the voice of Football Fridays. We heard from the coaches there, Ryan, that basically this could be the best team ever at Fullerton College.
No, you're absolutely correct, Mark. When you take a look at this soccer team for Fullerton, you have to look at what they have done in recent memory and what they have done in program history as well. 7 straight matches that they have won in conference as of last night. Or actually, excuse me, they drew last night. Drew? They drew last night.
They were tied
against Cyprus, but a 7-game unbeaten streak. Their current record is 7 games as an unbeaten streak in the Orange Empire Conference. If they get one more decision that goes Fullerton's way, it will be the best stretch in OEC history for the Fullerton College Hornets as a squad. So as we were talking to the coaching staff yesterday, like you mentioned, Mark, this is a very special team.
Yeah, and they do look that way. So if you're out in the Fullerton area, make sure you check the home page on the sports page to see how they're doing. If you can't make it, make sure you check out where you can watch that next soccer game.
And
But
that-
today it's all the other football here on SportsNetUSA.net. And we do soccer for Saddleback here on SportsNetUSA.net. We also do soccer for Cyprus, who tied Fullerton College. And it's been how long since Fullerton College beat Cyprus in soccer? Four matches, 4 years? 4 years? At home, okay. First down and 10 for the Hornets. Right at the 41-yard line. Run a counter play off the left side. Cross the 40 to the 38. So Honore gets it down to the 38. Player down for the Comets.
Tackled there by number 94,
Hicks
Kevion Hicks.
and Patrick
Second down.
in on the stop. And again, you like this lineup with Vakapuna and Honore in the backfield. It gives you some multiple options. It gives you that triple option threat. And let's hope they run one.
Gatewood in the slot for the Hornets. Honore off a right tackle, gain of 3 on the play. It's going to bring
Number
up
15,
a
Justin Honor off the right tackle.
third down and
Short gain
a
on the
long 6.
Outstanding play by Andy Devine.
play. Devine and Latua on the tackle.
He's a strong side backer and was able to fight off one block, and that was on Frazier, the right guard, and scrape and make the tackle.
Duffy and Bevenu come to the near side of the field. They throw it right there. Finally find Xavier Hicks, who just ran down 7 yards, turned around, short pass, but more than enough for a first down.
It's going to open up the offense. It really is. When you have that short passing game, when you have that option, you got to cover the middle. Then you get outside and let your speed work.
Bravo and Hicks on the far side of the field. Duffy and Bevenu to the near side of the field. Vakapuna, the running back, tries to go the outside, gets stopped. We're going to get a flag. He gets taken down, probably holding on the play. So if you were the Comets, decline the penalty because the Hornets lost yardage. And they're really giving Vakapuna a great spot.
Vakapuna's carry is tackled there by Andy Devine. There is a penalty.
Holding.
And because of that spot, because of the good spot, instead of a 5-yard loss, they gave him, a 2-yard loss?
Yeah,
So you back
exactly.
it up 10 yards. Again, against a team that's having offensive troubles.
So Bravo and Hicks, far side of the field. Bevenu and Duffy to the near side of the field. Vakapuna at running back. Schmidt at quarterback. First down and 20. Vakapuna goes out in the flat. They go across the middle on a drag route by Hicks. As he comes across, he takes a 3-yard, basically, Corey, he comes 2 yards off the line of scrimmage, cuts across the middle. Nothing really there, but he makes the catch.
Isaiah Strong out of Pullman, Washington, Pullman High School. Read it nice from his safety position. And again, Palomar's one of those famous teams with the 3-3-5. They're one of the originators.
Vakapuna, this time off a right tackle. Nice tackle by the Comets as there was nothing but room in front of him.
Because if Sisson doesn't get him, Vakapuna's got a first down, maybe 6.
That brings up third down, 20 yards.
So they look over the sidelines. Bevenu stays to the near side of the field. Duffy on the far side of the field. Hicks next to him. Bravo on the far outside. Vakapuna at running back. Here they come, bringing pressure. Has time to throw. Throws to Bevenu. Overshoots his receiver. Fourth down.
Bevenu was fighting for the inside. He couldn't get outside. Excellent coverage by James Coddington because Bevenu's got to continue fighting for the outside because that's where the ball is being thrown.
So once again, if you were to attempt the field goal, it would be roughly a 50-yard attempt. Well, not from there. You look at it be a 42-yard, but where you spotted the ball, but they won't go for it again. Last time they put it in the end zone.
No, you don't go for that field goal yet. Too early.
End over end. Ball's going to hit. Take a bounce and caught right at the 3. Nice coverage down there as Brian Meredith, the defensive back, stops it at the 3. 7:11 to go. Well, no, we're not going to the market. We're staying here. 7 minutes, 11 seconds here on sports8usa.net, and we're still at 0. The Comets, the Hornets, nobody's gotten on the board yet. Tapley comes out at quarterback. Tight formation. Run with Jones. Jones tries to get the outside. He does. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
And that offensive line is going to have some work for it. That's Cade Barney.
That was Chris Bosch. Sorry, Corey.
Okay. Cade Barney, Marcos Lucio, Dylan McDonald, Nicholas Regal, and Jaden Luckett. They're the units going to have to move the chains on this drive.
Chris Bosch at running back. Whitehead goes to the far side of the field. Hudson in the slot. 2nd down and 10, right at the 3. Bosch comes up now. Hornets switch. Throw it over the flat. Ball's thrown, caught, hit at the same time as Hudson gets it there out of Buena Vista, out of Vista, California. Gain of, well, they're saying 4. I'm going to say it's more like 3. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7.
And Mark Joseph McKissick is in there at right guard instead of Cade Barney.
Donald in the slot to the near side of the field. Bosch still at running back. Tapley at quarterback. 3rd down and 7 for the Comets. Just outside the 5. Hornets trying to come. Throws it up for a grab. And this time he just lays it out there, allows his receiver, Jake Whitehead, to run underneath it all the way out to the 21.
He stood in the pocket, waited for his player to break. He wanted to come underneath, but Fullerton double-teamed the player underneath, and he was able to hit Whitehead open with an athletic play. It's what you see from number 19 in San Diego. That's if you're old.
There we go. Hudson to the near side. They drop it off the middle. Bosch gets it. Weaves his way through the tapestry. Gets a gain of 5 on the play.
And I should say we're in San Marcos, so we don't want to disparage that. But again, nice, calm delivery by Andrew Tapley.
So near side of the field is going to be Hudson. Quincy Heron, the tight end, snuggles up next to the tackle on this side of the field. Bosch at running back. 2nd down and 6. Throw it over to the flat. Caught there. Gain at the 30. And again, all they're doing, Corey, is doing what you say. They get it to Hudson on a quick little slant. Pick up some.
They'll take what they can give them until they can get a lot. So you get a little before you get a lot. And mention that Ethan Charpentier, not the 3rd leading tackler in the SCFA, but he's the 5th leading tackler in the SCFA.
Kristen Hall now comes in at running back for the Comets. Third down and 1. Go with a powerhouse offense stop. The whistle, and this is where you want to say, okay, if somebody goes down low and he gets hurt.
Number 35, Chris Bosch.
Yeah, and so they're going to move the chains as Bosch sneaks his way across with 4:03 to go.
He doesn't sneak his way across.
The whole pile snuck its way across.
So Zuniga out and Boyce out. Des Palomalu, number 50 on the near side, is in along with Caleb Hadley on this left side.
Reed and Hudson go to the far side of the field. Jake Whitehead stays to the near side of the field. 1st down and 10 at the 31 for the Comets. They go over here to Whitehead. He catches it. They should give him all the way up to the 33.
Number 19, Jake Whitehead. Short gain on the play.
They give him the 32. Gain of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8. Whitehead stays on the near side of the field. Keaton Morales, tight end. Right off of the tackle's hip to the near side of the field. 2nd down. Morales goes in motion, goes to the other side. Throw it over, right in the slot. Dropped, caught, and turned. Tate Reed.
Pass is complete to number 4, Tate Reed.
So Tate Reed finds a spot. He stops, catches the ball. And Corey, there's only barely been one long pass in this entire game by the Comets.
What works against of aggressive plays and a defense that's trying to make a play is not safe, but effective and efficient quick routes, and they've been nice.
Whitehead goes up far side of the field. Reed stays in the slot on the far side of the field. First down and 10 at the 48. It's working. Keep throwing it. They throw it to Reed again. Reed gets a gain of 8 on the play. Tate Reed out of El Camino High School in Oceanside.
Second down for the Comets.
And we'll see if Brian Crooks dials up maybe a couple blitzes to try to get the ball out of Tapley's hands a little bit quicker to try to throw off the rhythm. Caleb Smith now in on the near side.
Hudson and Whitehead come to the near side field. Empty backfield for the Comets. Now they put the back in motion. Hall comes in the backfield with him. They throw a quick one. Almost picked at the 40-yard line.
That's Jeremy Naborn at that scoop and score against San Diego Mesa. And the one thing you like about Fullerton's defense is they don't always have to go to a nickel package. They've got athletic linebackers on the outside with Malcolm and Naborn that can cover most of those slot receivers.
Bosch comes back in at running back. Heron goes to the far side of the field. Morales at the tight end with him. Third down and 2 for the Comets. Quick pass again out to the outside across the 40. And Corey, they're running the same route, and Jake Whitehead is just a vacuum out there.
His third catch already. And they're being patient enough, again, we'll say it again, until they can get something down the field. And right now, if you're Fullerton, we've seen them this year, and I know Ryan can attest to this, they'll get anxious. And right about now is the time they're getting a little bit anxious.
Bosch stays in the backfield. Williams at the far side of the field. Hudson to the near side of the field. First and 10, across the 40. Straight dive play. Gain of maybe 1 on the play.
Chris Bosch tries a right B gap.
We're under a minute here in the first quarter as its time is clicking big time.
Damien Bergueno on the tackle for the Hornets.
Watch out for that tight end, Quincy Heron, who's here on this side of the field also. Second down and 9 for the Comets. Tapley looks over. Bosch in the backfield with him. Right at the 38-yard line. Looks for the same thing. Out. They go over the middle. And there again, first down. As all you do is pick them apart as Hudson gets that one. And they're just picking the defense apart.
Charpentier and Malcolm in position, reading the quarterback's eyes and not knowing where they're at on the field.
Keaton Morales comes in at tight end now on the far side of the field. Now Morales goes to the near side of the field. Morales is in there. In the slot is going to be Donald. Bosch there, and we come to the end of the first quarter. As we come to the end of the first quarter, well, it's Palomar selling cookies and knocking on the Hornets' door. We'll see if they're buying. We're sitting right here at 0. It's the Hornets 0, the Comets 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, and the old guy here at wonderful Palomar campus. Ryan Osborn and I took a little trip around the campus, looked at the new baseball field, this gorgeous football stadium. Not a soccer football stadium, a football stadium over there. So it's looking really nice. That's a brand new softball field over there. They don't have lights. They were supposed to, because I talked to the athletic director about it. The 2 lights they have for football were supposed to be double lights on both sides. It didn't happen. Then we went into their volleyball basketball geodesic dome, which that'd be a fun place to call a game. It's huge inside, and when you get the acoustics, no sound is bouncing in there. So it'd be a great place for me because I'm so loud nobody'd ever hear me. That's why they got me up here on the 3rd floor.
And they can hear you in the dome.
That's true. The Comets looking to get on the board first as we start the 2nd quarter.
Andrew Tapley came into this game with only 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
1st down and 10 at the 18. Tapley goes back, throws it again. Missed tackle, missed tackle, missed tackle. All the way down to the 5. If you can't tackle Hudson, might as well just give him a touchdown.
First and goal from the 5.
So all the way down to the 5-yard line, and Brian Cricks was telling us, well, you got to have offense. Defense can't stop somebody all the time. Morales goes out far to the right. Near side of the field is going to be Hudson. In the slot, Jake Whitehead. Tapley at quarterback. Bosch at running back. They come into a tight formation. They hand it off to Bosch. Weaves his way up, gets down to the 2. It'll be 2nd down and goal. They're going to give it to the 1. So it'll be 2nd and goal at the 1.
2nd and 1 from there.
And here comes an entire new group on the field for the Comets.
And when you say you want to switch offense for defense, and that's what they're doing, they bring in 4 defensive players. And the ball is at the 1.
Andy Devine, a linebacker, is now up. Tapley drops the ball. The Hornets fall on it.
Ethan Charpentier comes up with the recovery. And they were going to hand it to the linebacker, Jaden Latua.
The Hornets will take over.
And they had a push. They had to push up front. That was a touchdown. But the ball was dropped. Charpentier comes up with his first fumble recovery of the season to go along with the pick 6. Palomar, big opportunity.
So they worked their way down the field on a lot of little short passes. Got yak afterwards by the receivers. Looked like, and you said they probably would have gotten in on that play.
Because I think we're both going to say that's the perfect drive for what you need in this type of ball game.
Yeah, and then he was just a little anxious, Corey, to get rid of the ball. Turned, he dropped it out of his hands. Let's see if the defense can step up with the Comets because the Hornets got to go 98 yards. Give it to Vakapuna. Doesn't get anywhere off a left tackle.
Vakapuna up the middle. Short game. Looked like number 8, Jaden Latou on the tackle.
At 3-3, and you're 1-2 in conference, do you see them opening this up at the 1 or 2 yard line, or at the 4 yard line now and rolling Schmidt out?
Schmidt comes underneath center. 2nd down and 10. They hand it off a tackle to Vakapuna. Vakapuna gets wrapped up at the 3.
Jacob Sisson.
By number 91 for the Comets, Jacob Sisson.
His 2nd tackle.
That'll bring up a 3rd down, 9.
Bevenu comes to the near side of the field. 3rd down and 9. Great time to throw a ball to a tight end. I formation for the Hornets. Vakapuna turns the corner. Vakapuna on the foot race. Got a block on the outside. Gets all the way to the 25. Corey, he makes a jump cut at tackle, and that freed him up.
Well, what happened is the play was designed to go to the right side. Like you said, he jumped. He scraped along to the left side to pick up the 1st down. Not sure that play was designed to go that way, but Elvis Vakapuna picked up the 1st down because they knew they had to have one.
Honore now comes in the game for the Hornets. 1st down and 10 at the 26. They hand it off to Justin. He falls forward. Gain of 1 on the play.
Justin Honor off the left side. Hit in the hole by Jaden Latua. 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
12-10, no score here in the second quarter. Xavier Herbert is going to come to the near side of the field. Bills to the far side of the field. Honore stays in at running back. Second down for the Hornets. Another dive play to Honore. Gets across the 30, out to the 32. So it's going to bring up a third down and a short 4.
Picked up the first last time on a run.
Brings up 3rd down and 4 for the Hornets.
Again, now you already saw Schmidt fake it on the dive play and take off running. Let's see if they run that option play again. 3rd down and 4. They give it to Honore. Gets up to the 35. It's going to bring up 4th down. And
just an order up the middle.
Do we send it in? Yes. Special teams coach says, okay, let's punt the ball.
Tucker Murphy allowed this situation to happen as he comes up and he feels from the safety position. Honore was going to lean forward for the first down. He does not. Sky Donnell is back deep for the Comets.
And the Comets call timeout because I think the Comets, they didn't run their defense off quickly, Corey. They almost said, you know what, in this game, because if you lose, you lose. Doesn't really matter with either of these teams. Let's stay out there and see what the Hornets are doing. They realized they were going to punt it away and had to change the special team.
Yeah, plus that last drive, it was near perfection as they started at their own 4. They needed to go 96 yards. They went 95 yards and had that fumble. They're thinking we can't give up that first down on a silly penalty. Let's call that timeout, and let's go get that touchdown that we should have had the last drive.
You know, I watched the team last night play. One of our local teams that season is just as dismal as the Hornets. That's USC. And they came out on their own side of the field and decided we're going to go for it. And everybody thought they were crazy, and I'm like you. You got nothing to lose. You're not going anyplace. The car's in the shop. You're in a rental. You might as well just drive the rental as far as you can.
Well, on this one, I'd kick because of the good drive Palomar had on that last series.
It's what happens when you get older. You lose your courage.
Gain wisdom.
Low snap, end over end. Caught, 32, down at the 35. After a quick grab, Donald goes down at the 35-yard line. 10:35 to go. We're sitting at 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, Gabby Neyland behind me. Ryan, shall we welcome you to the game sooner or later?
I'm here. I'm just making sure that it's all working correctly and streaming correctly.
Okay, there we go. So in other words, you're the efficiency part of this game.
Exactly, like quality control, if you will.
Okay. Can I send you down to the field?
I'll be a correspondent.
Oh, there we go. Comets come back out. Like Corey has said, you look at Tapley. He's had a good beginning of this game. 1st down and 10, right at the 35. Dive play off a right side. Gain of 1 on the play.
Chris Bosch off the
Palomar
right
offense, 319 yards a game. They run for 129 yards, only throw for 190.
By big number 95,
Tate Reed
2nd down for the Comets.
comes in the near side of the field, along with Billups. Aiden Billups is out there, out of Lincoln High School in San Diego. Tapley looks over at both of them. 2nd down and 8 for the Comets. Tapley goes back, pump fakes, going down deep, overshoots his receiver. No flag comes out, and Corey Neyland says, should have called something. I saw Jersey stretching as far as it could.
This is a team, that's an excellent play for a team that only averages 19 points a game. They're looking to be more aggressive against a Fullerton team that only gives up 16.8, which is 4th in the SCFA. No 193 yards passing, only 43 yards on the ground they give up.
Williams to the far side of the field. Billups to the near side of the field. 3rd down and 8. Get a flag from the far receiver. Caught and dropped. It's going to be offsides on the Hornets. So it'll bring up a third down and about 4 for the Comets.
There is a penalty marker.
All right. Defense, number 92, 5-yard penalty. Third down.
And Brian Cricks came in the field and talked to the near official. He doesn't throw a flag. The other side official, who's not viewing the person who jumped offside, he threw the flag. Brian walked out there and I'm sure saying, "You're closer, why didn't you drop a flag?" But no matter, it's a flag against your Hornets.
Long as somebody threw a flag, they jumped.
Third down. Quick little pitch on your knees right at the 45. Corey says they're short by a good.
Pass complete to number 12,
Oh,
Williams.
They gave him.
Spotted right at the 45.
That's an excellent spot because he caught the ball on his knees at the 39. And he wasn't facing the first down marker. It should be fourth down.
They moved it back a little, Corey, and you know what? The far linesman came in and he saw what you saw, and he came over and talked to him and said, "We need to move it back." So he saw what Corey Neyland saw, and that's why they moved it back. That's why it's fourth down and a foot. And if I was the Hornets, I don't think they're punting the football. They run the dive play, didn't make it, and the Hornet defense steps up.
Hand off to Jane Latua. He's been in the hole by number 44.
They barely got Kavion Bills off the field. That would have been the 12th man on the field. And again, that's the big package that they didn't have. It was rushed, it wasn't organized, and they give Fullerton excellent field position.
So the Hornet defense steps up big, stops them on fourth down and a foot with 9:19 to go here in the first half on Sportsnet, USA.net. I'm feeling good. See that big P on the hill? That sounds for Pavlovich. Just wanted Ryan Osborn to know. That's why it's up there. They knew I was coming. They wanted to celebrate me being here, so somebody went up there and spray painted my initial on there.
Should have been an E. He saw that character and
going down deep, across the middle, throws behind the receiver, could have easily been intercepted as Toby Schmidt twice now has been behind his receivers throwing the football.
Isaiah Dixon, let's say, well covered would be an understatement.
Honore at running back. Bravo comes the near side of the field. Logan Lester comes with him. Second down and 10 for the Hornets. Honore goes straight up off of center, gets 2 on the play.
And you know, the one thing that we've always noticed and always appreciated about Palomar is they've always had a strong defense. They've always had athletes that could play. Downs on the far side, sorry about that, and Coddington on the near side are really holding their own at the corners. And Tucker Murphy and Lucas Valencia in the safety positions, not letting anything get behind them.
Bevenu comes in. Bravo goes up far side of the field. Honore at running back. Schmidt at quarterback. Third down and 9. Schmidt throws it. Bevenu comes back for it, fights for a first down, and gets it on the play. And Corey, he comes back to catch the football, as a good receiver does sometimes, and that moves the stick for the Hornets.
Jabri out of Los Lomas High School in Walnut Creek.
Hurry up offense for the Hornet. First down and 10. Handed off to Honore. Off of left tackle. Gain of 2. 8:10 to go here in the first half.
There's only been a couple. There's only been a couple plays where Andy Devine hasn't been in the backfield, ready to make a stop. He made that one there.
Bills in the slot to the left. Bevenu nearest to the right. Honore, the running back. Bravo on the far side of the field. 2nd down and 8 for the Hornets. Throwing, back shoulder, caught by Duffy over there. Stays on his feet, touchdown Hornets.
And what do? Fullerton makes him pay on a 30-yard play. They dared them to throw. They were bringing everybody. Didn't matter what was happening. One-on-one on the outside. Desmond Duffy, the team's leading receiver with 14 now, gets his 2nd touchdown of the season, making his 3rd touchdown of the season.
And I think a nice adjustment by Duffy, because, Corey, I don't really think that was a back shoulder pass intentionally. So I think he adjusted well on where the ball was thrown and got it. And, of course, we know he's very good once he catches the football. Kick is up, and the kick is good. With 7:34 to go here in the first half, well, the Hornets offense get on the board. It's the Hornets 7, the Comets 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, Gabby Neyland, and a nice turnout by the Hornet fans who drove down here like Mr. Osborne and I did early this morning, followed by Mr. Neyland and Gabby Neyland later in the morning. And if they all had the type of drives all 4 of us had, it wasn't a bad ride down here to get to watch the Comets today against the Hornets here on Sportsnet, USA.net. 7-0.
Sky Donnell and Vincent Landry, the 4th back deep for the Comets.
So the Hornets get on the board. 7-0. The wind is blowing from left to right on your computer screen, so we'll see where this kickoff goes. A little extra oomph. At the goal line. 10, looks for the middle, there's an alley. Goes up there, drops his head across the 25. Donald with a nice return all the way out to the 28-yard line for the Comets.
Carries it all the way up to the 28, where the Comets will take over 1st and 10.
So the Comets, who had an opportunity, were down there at their own 2, brought in the jumbo package. Quarterback, unfortunately, couldn't find the handle on it, and Tapley dropped it. Tapley comes back out. Woods and Bosch in the backfield with him. Now Woods goes to the far right of the field. 1st down and 10 at the 28. Woods goes in motion from right to left. Across the middle of the field, taken there, big tight end, catches that one as Morales pulls it down on a nice, just basically a deception play. Everybody went to the left. Morales just came up the middle and caught the ball.
And vacating the spot was Kanye Parker, the new middle linebacker for the Hornets. He comes in, vacates the spot, an easy pitch and catch. Also Fred Adams, he's in at the near side cornerback position, number 22.
Whitehead, near side of the field. Reed in the slot next to him. 1st down and 10. Give it off to Bosch. Chris Bosch doesn't get back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe they'll get him a half a foot.
He's met there by number 58.
So Caleb Smith, along with Oscar Madrigal
2nd down and 9 for the
and
Comets.
Sean Malcolm. Out goes Madrigal. In comes number 95, Chef Boyd.
Woods goes to the far side of the field. Of course, the man that made the catch, Keaton Morales, still on the right side of the field. 2nd down and 10. Here comes the pressure. Tapley dancing his feet. Receiver goes down. He trips. The bench is yelling, he pushed him.
Tapley's pass was intended for number 3, Sky Donald.
Well, I like the thought.
Depending on the play was Antoine
Did you think he tripped, or did you think a little push in the back helped him on that one?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
But you have your slot receiver, a guy who's quick, fast, runs in a hurry against Antoine Johnson Jr. Good coverage, but you want that matchup again for the Comets. You'll try to pick on that one more time.
Donald stays in the slot. Morales with him, along with Woods on the near side of the field. 3rd down and 9. Comets go back. They bring it up. Go over the middle. There's a flag. As they said, you know what? Let's grab a hold of Jake Whitehead and make sure he can't get to the football.
Gamage was on the coverage. There is a flag on the play.
And Mo Gamage turned him. He knows he turned him. And so that's going to be an easy first down for the Comets. And they're working Whitehead. He's already got 4 catches in the first half, as we said, at 6:14 to go in the second quarter.
Pass interference was the call on the play.
So they're going to move the chains.
See a
Pass
15-yard
interference
penalty
call.
And a Comet first down.
Move it all the way down to the 38-yard line. First down and 10 for the Comets at the 38. Woods flips field. Whitehead comes in the near side of the field. Donald in the slot next to him. Wood goes to the far side of the field. Heron with him. Tapley goes back. Quick little slant. Ball behind the receiver. Incomplete pass.
And that ball behind Whitehead allowed Fred Adams to catch up and
Jake Whitehead
dislodge the ball from his hands. Better throw, different results.
Second down and 10.
Second and 10.
Whitehead stays on the near side of the field. Donnelly stays in the slot. Quincy Heron, tight end, comes in the near side of the field. On the far side of the field is going to be Woods. Second down and 10 for the Comets. Ball, low snap. Pump fake, cross the middle, picked right there at the 25, 30, 40, 45, all the way back. Kiss it goodbye. Touchdown Hornets.
Perry Williams, the fourth,
Was intercepted by number 20.
73 yards on the return. He forces the fumble last week against San Diego Mesa
Touchdown Hornets.
and a scoop and score. This time in his 2 starts, a pick 6, and gives him a 13-0 lead.
Well, Brian Crook said, you know, we're the most prolific scoring team. Offense scored. Brian Crook said, we can't be outdone by the offense. We need to get at least 7.
And that's the 6th defensive touchdown this season for the Hornets. They also have a touchdown on special teams on a block kick and a punt return.
Ball spotted at the 10. Ball is spotted. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 5:55 to go here in the second quarter, it's not the Hornets 14, the Comets 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Second turnover for the Comets of the game. The first one was costly. Corey, you said they should have had 7 at least. And then you said Tapley has a tendency to put the ball up and have it picked. And, of course, you make that statement, it turns around, and the Hornet defense does it.
And that's his 7th pick of the season. Again, 2 touchdowns, 7 picks. Fullerton came into this ballgame thinking they had a chance to get a couple. They've got 1 here in the first half, and they're looking for more. And we'll see if Palomar will continue to try to get down the field, which they should. The middle has been open. Where they're getting in trouble is on those out patterns.
Yeah, Palomar 2-1 in conference, 3-3 overall. The Hornets trying to get 2-1 in conference, and they would be 4-3 overall. So 5:55 to go. A fast-moving first half for this football game on a nice Saturday afternoon here on the campus of Palomar College. Taken by Donnelly. Has the middle of the field all the way up, and Corey, ball comes out, and now there's a flag.
Makes it all the way up to the 37. There is a scramble for the
And
ball
it
and a flag on the
looks
play.
like they kind of laid out Charles. Let's hope he's okay. And the ball is recovered by the Comets. Vincent Landry the fourth.
So we'll see what the flag is. Looks like it's going to be against the Comets.
I don't know if they caught it against Charles or if it was a blindside block.
During the return. Team.
Okay, so no, it was just a block.
No.
So they're out there checking the young man out on the field with 5:47 to go. Let's hope that it's nothing serious, and we'll see him get up and head to the sidelines. As they do, let's give it to some of the best trainers, if not the best training staff in the state of California. As we look at Juan Cuevas and the staff that he has at Fullerton College, always cares about the student athletes here at Fullerton College, as do the trainers here at Palomar College. It's Sandra? Sandra Harris was out there. So the Comets go. Run a sweep around this side. Across the 30, ball comes out. The ball is out. They say runner was down on contact. So they're saying he was down, then the ball came out.
4-yard pickup brings up second down.
Fullerton decides to finally get the kickoff tee off the field. Hurry up offense now by the Comets. Relatores now in at running back for the Comets. Tapley throws it over the flat. Contact made as soon as Whitehead catches it. 6'4", 200 pounds. Nice side receiver for Whitehead.
Third down and 2.
Reed comes back in. Reed at the near side of the field. Keaton Morales in at tight end. Bosch comes back in at running back. Whitehead comes to the near side of the field. Billups in the slot next to him. Morales, the tight end on the far side of the field. Bosch at running back. Third down and 1. They go to throw it over the flat. Nobody's open. Ball comes out. Incomplete pass. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
Maybe a little clutch by Johnny Ingram on the little square end. No call.
Brings up 4th down for the Comets.
So good defensive stand that time by the Hornets.
Calgill back in punt formation.
Bills is back
Number
deep.
19, Kevion Bills back deep to return for the Hornets.
So 4th and 1 for the Comets. 4:17 to go. The Hornets are up by 14. Low snap, hits the ground. End over end. And last week, they would yell, get away, get away, get away. That works there as the ball rolls out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. 4:09 to go in this first half. It's the Hornets 14, the Comets 0. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
The snack bar is open.
So 41 yards on the kick. Averaging 37.5 on the season does Calgill.
Take you over the snack bar.
The interior for the Comets, Sisson, Tylea, and Hicks. Backers are still Divine, Latua, and Patrick.
Hornets come out. First down and 10 at the 30. Schmidt looks. There's nothing there. Takes off running. Gets across the 30. And Corey, he took his first look. There was nothing there in the first look. Decided, I'm not going to look again. And headed for the exit of the theater.
Yeah, and the Hornets are creeping away from that short passing game that we saw in the first quarter, trying to move the ball, get some rhythm. You see ever so slowly they get away from that and try to move the ball down the field because they got one.
Honore and Bakapuna in the backfield. Give it up to the up back. That's Honore. He gets out just short to the 34.
Number 93, Moshi on the tackle.
So it's 3rd down and 6 for the Hornets, just short of the 35. Stay with Honore and Bakapuna in the backfield. Toby Schmidt comes out. They've got momentum. Let's see if they can get one more with 3:11 to go here in the first half. They run an option. Pitch it to Bakapuna, turns the corner. So they run an option play with Schmidt. He comes out at the last second, pitches it to Bakapuna, who gets a first down.
Yeah, and a good job by Jordan Gatewood to keep that left side of the field open as the end. It looks like it was Kavion Hicks was on the outside. He blocked him up, and they picked up the first.
Bevenu comes to the near side of the field. Honore in the backfield. Schmidt at quarterback. First down and 10. Straight up the middle. Honore falls forward for a yard.
Talea, Moshi Talea, again, Mark, he's everywhere in the backfield. He doesn't have many tackles, but he's been disruptive in the middle. He insisted, and Hicks, good combination up front.
Bravo goes out to the far side of the field and turns around and says, well, I heard what the coaches were calling. So Bravo at the far side of the field, seeing if they're going to take it down to the 2-minute warning or the 2-minute timeout, as it's called here in the 3C2A and the SCFA. And that's what it is. We come to the 2-minute timeout here on Sportsnet, USA.net, as the Hornets are up by 14. It's the Hornets 14, the Comets 0 on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn will probably finally open up and say something at halftime. I'm just saying, you might.
I might.
Okay, all right.
It depends, it depends on my mood.
Yeah, I know. It's like on the way driving down here, Ryan just kept looking out the window, staring at everything but the road.
Well, Mark, when you got that much scenery and you pass a battleship, sometimes you just have to look at what's going on around you.
Wasn't that awesome?
It was. I mean, that's one thing when you have the opportunity to drive down here to each of the San Diego area schools, whether it be Palomar, Grossmont, San Diego Mesa. Getting the opportunity to drive down here is always a thrill because you do get to see those naval bases, marine bases as well. And this morning we got to see a battleship docked just off the coast of California.
Dive play off the right side. Honore keeps it. Gets across the 50 down to the 47. It'll bring third down and 2 for the Hornets. Honore stays in the backfield. Honore goes to the outside, turns the corner, gets a block by Bravo. It's coming back. They're going to call holding against the left tackle for the Hornets.
Yeah, they're going to get Preston Jeffs against Kavion Hicks. Oh, it's going to negate a good run by Honore. Read the block, bounced to the outside, but it's all for naught. So 14-0. And your kicker, Mark, was shaken up off of that last kickoff with 1:32 to play. Trying for 6?
Yeah, I do.
Holding was the call. Moves the ball back to the 43. Bringing up a third down and 13 for the Hornets.
Third down for Fullerton. Schmidt looks things over. Schmidt goes back, has time, flings it sidearm, just short of the 40, and going down to catch that is a great catch by Logan Lester, young man out of Kenwood Academy in Chicago. First and 10. Schmidt throws it out to Bakapuna. Bakapuna says, 1 on 3? That's my sort of odds I like.
And Devine and Sisson.
He's met there by number 42, Devine.
Duffy goes to the far side of the field with Bravo. Lester stays with him. Bevenu to the near side of the field. Bakapun at running back. Schmidt at quarterback. 2nd down and 7 for the Hornets. Quick pass in the flat. Bevenu catches it. Doesn't step out of bounds. Clock keeps running, so the Hornets will call a timeout.
Coddington keeps him in bounds, so big play by Coddington. Again, they don't pick up the first down. He's not able to step out of bounds. So they use their second timeout of the half. And you can still work the middle of the field to try to pick up positive yardage. Ball will stop with the first down.
And don't forget tonight, after you get done with Hornet football, stay with us here at SportsNetUSA.net. A little Saddleback football tonight at 6 o'clock. And then, well, we're going to stick around with the Saddleback campus because on Monday the 29th, Bobcat women's soccer on SportsNetUSA.net, followed by the Huskies volleyball match on the 1st. And then we look at Don's football on November 2nd at 1 o'clock, all on SportsNetUSA.net. Third down and 1, 35 seconds to go here in this first half. The Hornets up by 14. Going deep, far side, caught there, turn, touchdown. On a nice pitch and catch to Logan Lester.
And Logan Lester very physical on the outside, and because receivers will never get called for pass interference, even slightly, he's allowed to turn and make that back shoulder catch with a little push off, little love tap.
I thought he was introducing himself. I thought he tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Hey, I am." You know how you sort of shove somebody to get their attention?
Yeah, he did tap him on the shoulder, and that's why he fell backward and couldn't turn around. But nonetheless, they pick up a 6.
29 seconds. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. So with 29 seconds to go here in the first half, it's the Hornets 21. The Comets 0 on SportsNetUSA.net. The smiling Ryan Osborn. The cheerful Corey Neyland. The always happy and effervescent Gabby Neyland behind me here on SportsNetUSA.net.
You remember that wind you were talking about, Mark? We love the wind. We love the nice weather. It's blowing left. It's blowing right. It's blowing that dust right up my nose. You got to love allergy season. But again, wonderful complex here at Palomar.
This is a beautiful football stadium. I was going to make it a baseball field.
Well, you too got a chance, and you said it earlier that you got a chance to walk around a little bit. And you said all the facilities are very nice here. They just built that softball stadium that you're itching to call a game at, you and Ryan. Both y'all itching to call a basketball or volleyball match.
And you know what's nicer? Are the people here. The people here are so accommodating, so nice to us. Ryan's already applied for a job. Little pooch kick, middle of the field at the 30. Turn to the corner, knocked out of bounds. Little shoving going on there after it's caught by Relatores.
Gets about a 7-yard return.
25 seconds to go.
37-yard line.
And you know why I like it? They've got an elevator.
Yeah. And they have plenty of facilities for you over there, too, if you need to use one.
The only drawback.
So Tapley comes back out. Andrew at quarterback. Looking to maybe find something here with 25 seconds to go. The Comets will start the second half by getting the football. Bosch takes it, stays on his feet, goes all the way down to the 45. Nice dancing up the middle. Giving a foot and a leg there, and gets a nice gain across the 50 all the way down to the 46-yard line. 17 seconds to go.
Jack Myers' longest field goal attempt is, or make, is 47 yards.
They run it again. This time stopped at the line of scrimmage. Flag on the play. Now let's see who the flag is on. If it's on the Hornets, this will be a beautiful gain and give the Comets an opportunity. Personal foul against the Hornets.
I think the block for Sky Donald and Mo Gamage reacting and bringing Donald to the ground.
Brian Crooks is not happy.
After the play, personal foul, defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run, automatic.
So the head coaches for the Hornets are both yelling at the official who threw the flag.
The personal foul penalty, the ball be
So they're going to
spotted on
move
the
it to the
30-yard
30. Do you bring out your kicker with 4 seconds to go?
His longest 47. I think so.
And it doesn't look like they are. Chris Bosch stays in the backfield. Tapley goes back. He's got to find the end zone. Ball gets knocked out. Forward pass. And that should bring us to the end of the first half. As we come to the end of the first half, it's the Comets 21, the Hornets 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And we welcome you to the half here as SportsNetUSA.net brings you community college football and Fullerton College football here on a Saturday afternoon. We thank you again for joining us here. I am Ryan Osborn. You just heard from the voices of Fullerton College football, Mark Pavlovich and Corey Neyland. So as you see on your screen, we are here at Palomar, and they have a brand new facility, one that is still currently under renovation, or I should say it is still currently under construction, not renovation, but it is their first on-campus stadium in quite some time. If you remember watching along with Corey and Mark throughout the years, they would go down to Escondido High School, which is relatively nearby, and that's where Palomar would play their home games. All that changes this year with this brand new sports complex that you see directly in front of you. So as you're watching the game, this is the football field, obviously, and it can sit about 5,000 to 6,000 depending on the configuration and each event that is going on. But directly past the football field, in the center of your screen, up above the away coaches box, is that brand new softball facility that Palomar College is able to bring to campus. This is a team that has been in the semifinals and the state finals multiple times in the last 10 years. They needed a new facility, and they got exactly that. So we are very happy to be here down at Palomar College, and they have welcomed us with open arms, which we truly appreciate. Now, as we always do at halftime of Fullerton College football games, we bring you the out-of-town score and the rankings as well. First, we start with the rankings, then we bring up the scores to give you a little bit of context first with the rankings on why the scores matter and what they are going to affect for the entire state of California as you move on throughout the rest of the season. So, this time we're going to do things a little bit differently. Usually what we do is we go rankings right into the scores, and then we hand it off to Corey and Mark for the second half. But we want to bring in the standings. Now that everyone has started to begin their conference play, you not only have to look at the rankings, but you have to see where they sit in their conferences on their own. So let's start with the rankings. We'll move to the standings, and then we'll bring you the out-of-town scoreboard. As Fullerton, at the time of start of this matchup, was the only game going on at the current moment. So you take a look at the rankings, very similar to last week. We talked about Mount Sac. They stay in that number 1 spot. They are 5-0. They are looking to get to that 6-0 spot to be determined tonight. They have 11 first-place votes. Butte is right behind them with 7. The reason why Butte is right behind them with 7 and so close is because they do have 2 wins over top 7 ranked opponents. Remember earlier they had a win over San Mateo, and that actually took San Mateo out of the first-place spot for the first time in about a year and a half. Well, you look at Butte, 7 first-place votes, right behind Mount Sac. In fact, if you look at overall points in the coaches poll, 443 to 437. Butte is right behind them, just trailing by 6 overall points. If you look at the CCCSIA football poll, it is Mount Sac with 6 first-place votes, Butte with 2 first-place votes, but they are tied in points overall as they each have 194. But, of course, in that poll, since Mount Sac has 6 first-place votes and Butte has 2, Mount Sac ends up getting the nod as the number 1 spot. Riverside City College continues their winning ways. They stay at number 3 as they have over the last 2 weeks. Riverside 5-1. They have 413 votes in the coaches poll, and they stay in the top 3 overall. Ventura slides into number 4, their first time in the top 5 in a couple of years, and the Ventura Pirates reaching the Southern California State Championship this last season as they ended up facing Riverside City College. On our left-hand side, the Canon XA55 is what we're using here on the air. But going back to Ventura, remember, last year they beat Fullerton College in the state playoff to get themselves the right to compete for the Southern California Championship. They did exactly that. They lose to Riverside, who goes on to win the state championship. Ventura, last year, very short-handed team. They didn't have as big of a roster as they had in recent years. We had seen them be a traditional powerhouse in northern Southern California. Sounds a little different, but the northern side of Southern California. They had a smaller roster. They beat Fullerton College in a true, we don't want to say upset because it is Ventura being the normal powerhouse, but in what was a surprising result for a lot of people around Southern California, especially since Fullerton was coming off of a recent win over Riverside City College, and they were at home. A lot of people thought Fullerton was going to end up back in the Southern California Championship. Ventura was right there, and they continue their winning ways into the next season, a 5-1 record to this point. They're number 4. Golden West is tied for number 5 with San Mateo up north. Both teams are 5-1, both teams with 361 points on the dot. For Golden West, they end up moving up a spot from number 6 last week up to number 5. San Mateo was clear in the 6th spot last week, and they end up going and staying technically in the 6th spot. They are tied for 5. San Diego Mesa from around this area, 5-1. They are number 7. Modesto number 8 with a 4-2 overall record. Modesto with a couple of losses recently, that's what drops them down. Remember, they had moved all the way up to as high as number 2 in the state poll, but 2 straight losses drops them down to number 8. Fresno City College, a 5-2 overall record. They ended up playing through the bye week that everyone else had in Southern California. 5-2 overall, 274 points to their credit. They were as high as number 7 last week, but a loss for Fresno City drops them to number 9. El Camino rounds out the number 10 spot as they actually reach the top 10 for the first time in 4 seasons. This is a season to watch for if you're looking at the El Camino Warriors. El Camino, if you look at the history of the state of California in terms of football, they're a traditional power that you could say, but they fell upon hard times, tough times in terms of overall program success, going from the early 2000s all the way up to as recently as 2019. But that has all changed. They are continuing their momentum that they've built over the last couple of seasons, getting to a couple of bowl games, and now they end up in the top 10 for the first time in a few years. Bakersfield is right behind them at 4-2 with American River, who's sitting at 3-3. Very surprising start to the season for American River at a 3-3 500 record. Now, if you're looking for Fullerton in the poll, they have dropped all the way down to number 18 after the loss last week. That came at home to San Diego Mesa, and of course, the week before that Fullerton played was Mount San Jacinto, and Fullerton wasn't able to get the job done there. So a couple of back-to-back losses for Fullerton College drops them from number 12 down to number 18, but if you look at it as a whole, they go down from number 6 all the way down to number 18 and trying to get themselves back into the top 10 before we get towards the end of the season. So Fullerton at number 18, that is where you look at them. And if you're a Fullerton College fan, you got to think, okay, what does the outlook look like throughout the rest of the season? How are we faring? How can we get ourselves not only into the state playoff, but how can we keep ourselves inside the top 15 the rest of the way? Well, they don't necessarily control their own destiny there. So after the loss last week against San Diego Mesa, it changes how Fullerton can play out the rest of the season. Riverside City College is the only team in the conference sitting at 3-0. They have an undefeated record in conference play to this point. San Diego Mesa has a 2-1 record with Mount San Jacinto at 2-1. Both of those two teams, the only loss that they have so far is to Riverside City College. So Riverside actually controls their own destiny. If Riverside City is able to take the last 4 games and win them all, then they will end up as the conference champion without really having any doubt on who else would be competing with them. Now, San Diego Mesa can get to the end of the season and have themselves a share of the conference championship depending on what Riverside does, because San Diego Mesa is going to wait on Riverside taking on Saddleback later on this season. So Riverside at 5-1 still has to be able to go up against a team like Saddleback in conference in the last 3 weeks of the season. That's going to decide a lot of what happens, not only just in this conference in the National Southern Division, but overall in the state of California and the state playoff as well. So Riverside City at 3-0, San Diego Mesa at 2-1, Mount San Jacinto at 2-1, and Saddleback at 2-1, with Palomar sitting there tied with them as well. So 4 different teams sitting at a 2-1 record. Each of them has a chance to really throw a wrench into how everything's going to play out in Southern California. But the 2 teams you really have to watch for the most are San Diego Mesa and Mount San Jacinto, because they still have some major games left. Now, Mount San Jacinto's only loss so far in conference has been to Riverside City. Of course, they lost by nearly 55 points. So Mount San Jacinto doesn't have the tiebreaker against Riverside. If they are going to win conference, they have to hope for a lot of help from Riverside and the opponents that they will play. Now, Fullerton College at 1-2. In all technicality, they still can win the conference. They're just going to need a lot of assistance from across the conference and across Southern California. Very simple. They are currently trailing things by a game and a half to Riverside, and they essentially need Riverside to drop 2 and also have San Diego Mesa drop a couple as well, because with San Diego Mesa and Mount San Jacinto winning over Fullerton in each of the last 2 weeks Fullerton has played, they each own the tiebreaker. So it won't matter if Fullerton ends up tied with them. They've got to have all 3 of those teams at least lose a couple before the end of the season. So Fullerton sitting at 1-2 with Grossmont at 0-3 and Southwestern at 0-3 as well. Both those 2 teams sitting at 1-5 and 0-5 in their overall standings. National Valley, that's more towards Northern California, so it's not as much of an interest as the National Northern for Fullerton. Ventura and El Camino, 3-0, both of them in their conference. For the El Camino Warriors, as we were talking about with the rankings, they end up in the top 10 for the first time in 4 years. You look at El Camino, this is a different squad for them because they are currently 4-2. They have won each of their last 3 after having a real tough start to the season. They had a 1-2 record going into week number 4. They have won each of their last 3, and lucky for them, each of them has been in conference play. So El Camino is tied with Ventura, and usually if you're looking at the National Northern, your first thought is, okay, you're going to have Ventura, you're going to have Canyons, and then it's going to be kind of a toss-up between whoever's having a good season, between an Allen Hancock or maybe even a Santa Barbara, depends on what the conference alignment is. But in this case, it's Ventura 1, El Camino 2, Bakersfield, and Canyons. Canyons is sitting at 4 in their own conference that they are a traditional power in, because Canyons has a 2-1 record and has already lost one to El Camino. So the National Northern is a very different conference. It's going to be an interesting way to see how that one plays out. You look at the overall conference realignment. Remember, some teams moved up from the American Division to the National. Orange Coast is back in the National for the first time in quite some time. And in fact, if I remember correctly, it's the first time since 2018. And Corey, correct me if I'm wrong, that Orange Coast has been in the National.
Yeah, it's been that long.
Yeah, so 2018 for Orange Coast, they're back in it. Their conference is Mount Sac, Golden West, Long Beach, Cerritos, Orange Coast, Citrus, San Bernardino Valley, and East LA. Now, the issue with San Bernardino Valley being in that conference, of course, they made the announcement. They will no longer be playing football throughout the remainder of this season. They are going to regroup. President Gil Contreras over at Santa Barbara or San Bernardino Valley says, hey, we're going to regroup as a program, invest a little bit more into our football team, and come back next year with a better opportunity to win and get these student athletes in the best possible position to succeed. Now, they are sitting at second to last in their conference in the Central. East LA is right behind them at 0-4 in conference play, and San Bernardino Valley throughout the rest of the season not only will necessarily forfeit, it will just be a full cancellation. So if you're ever looking at the National Central and you're thinking, okay, well, what are these rankings per se? Well, it actually goes back to it's a cancellation, not forfeiture of games. But going back to what affects the overall playoff rankings, Mount Sac, Golden West, both 4-0, 3-0, and Long Beach is 3-0. So if you're keeping track at home of all the undefeated teams in conference and looking to get a conference championship, Mount Sac is undefeated. Golden West is undefeated in conference. Long Beach is undefeated in conference. Ventura is undefeated in conference. You also add in Riverside, who is undefeated in conference. And you're looking at 5 to 6 teams who immediately can get an automatic bid into the state playoff, in addition to the teams right behind them, teams like Mount San Jacinto who are trying to get in, Saddleback who is trying to get in, and of course, you look at Long Beach, a traditional team that is right there and looking to end up getting themselves into the state playoff as well. So as I bring back Mark Pavlovich and Corey Neyland, the voices of Fullerton College football, Corey, you look at that first half and, well, I would give the out-of-town scoreboard, but we're still the only game on.
Actually, there's one more.
Oh, there is one more on?
LA Valley over Glendale 3-0.
There you go.
That first quarter. But that's it down here. San Mateo is up over Foothill in the first quarter with 9:22 to play, 7-0. Fresno City up north over Sacramento City, 14-0 in the first quarter. Butte with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, 7-0 over American River. Staying up north, Los Medanos and Chabot are in the first, 7-3. Los Medanos has the lead there. Deanzu, who's had but an outstanding season coming out the box loudly. 7-0 lead over Merced. And the NorCal games continue with Diablo Valley in their 75th anniversary. 7-0 lead over San Joaquin Delta. They've had a resurgence this season as well. Reedley shut out in the first quarter thus far with a minute remaining over against Modesto. 13-0, they're down. And now we've got a couple other games here in SoCal. Long Beach over the aforementioned Orange Coast College, who came up to the National Division this year. Long Beach 14-0 over Orange Coast. Long Beach is one of those undefeated teams in conference play. Coalinga and San Jose are tied at 7, also in the first. So that's the slate of the early games, starting at 12-1 around a 3C, 2A. And we sit here at 21-0. Fullerton with the lead, and maybe their best offensive performance in a half since the first game of the season against Santa Barbara. As we look at the first half stats, Toby Schmidt, 9 of 13, 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also rushed twice for 47 yards. Elvis Vacapuna's got 42 yards on the ground. Justin Honore has 27. Logan Lester, Jabri Bevenu, Xavier Hicks, and Elvis Vacapuna have 2 catches each. Desmond Duffy's only catch was a 28-yard touchdown score from Toby, and Logan Lester got his first touchdown of the season on a 24-yarder. So the offense is better, and they had to be a little bit better, and let's put it a lot better against Palomar, who had a big victory last week against Saddleback. Palomar on the offensive side of the ball in the first half. Andrew Tapley, 14 of 24 for 114 yards, and that 1 interception, which was a pick 6. Chris Bosch, 31 yards on the ground and 9 carries. Jake Whitehead, 6 catches, a productive first half with 43 yards. Elijah Hudson had 2 for 24. Tate Reed had 2 for 23. So the offense for Palomar had a chance, but they just couldn't score. They had first down and goal from the 4 and came away empty. Let's see, leading tackler for the Palomar Comets was Jaden Latua. He had 5 tackles, but the leading tackler was Andy Devine. Led the way with 6 stops. Fullerton will be on defense to start the second half. And leading the way defensively for the Hornets, Mo Gamage had 4 tackles. And leading the way, Ethan Charpentier, no big surprise, 5th in the conference. In the SCFA, he had 5. That pick 6 was Perry Williams, the 4th.
So let's get ready for a little more community college football here on sports@usa.net as the Hornets will start the second half by kicking off. Taken there by Donnelly. To the 20, cuts the outside, gets taken down at the 30. I'm waiting to see where, because we've got a scrum on the field. Flags are coming all over. So the officials haven't even marked the ball. They're going to mark the ball at, I'm going to say, the 34-yard line here on sports@usa.net.
I agree. No, but Mark, one thing I do want to point out is that everyone here at Palomar College has been very welcoming to us. You and I not only got a chance to walk the campus here at Palomar, we got really introduced to all the facilities. We got told exactly what they are, exactly what each one has in terms of being innovative and setting the tone going forward for student athletes, and each person we've encountered has been extremely welcoming.
Yeah, it's been a great trip for Ryan and I. We got here early and everybody was nice. We walked on the field, saw the AD on the field. He said, hey guys, this is where you go. And we have a great view up here. The weather's perfect. As we get ready, the Comets come out, move back on a personal foul, be first down and 10 at the 19. The defense, Corey, for the rush has been decent. There has been sometimes that Bosch has broken through the line of scrimmage, but overall, it's been pretty good.
And defense has always been solid. Defense has played well this season. Again, they got their sixth score of the season, and that's the third pick six.
Of the season?
Fourth.
Hudson to the far side, Woods to the near side. 2nd down and 11. Tapley goes back, throws a little slant. Ball gets dropped. It'll be 2nd down and 11. 3rd down and 11 for the Comets.
Brings up 3rd down.
So Tapley got picked. That got taken back for a touchdown in the first half. And so far for the Hornets, the offenses look good this day. Hornets almost jumped. So it should be against the Hornets. They jumped. The offensive player reacted to it. They're going to say, did he wait too long to react to it? And did the defensive player get back on side? If they say he did, it'll be illegal procedure. And that's exactly what happened. So it has to be a quick reaction. You can't say, oh, Corey went for my plate. Now I'm going to stab him in the hand. You got to do it right when he's reaching for your food. Moves him back 5 yards. 3rd down and 16. Bosch still at running back. Reed in the slot on the far side of the field. Morales next to him. Tapley goes back, looks. They hand it off to Bosch. He turns the corner. Tries to give a straight arm. Drug out of bounds short of the 20, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I didn't know Sean Malcolm was that fast. The way he covered ground from side to side and drove him out of bounds looked like it was going to spark a game, maybe 5, 6, possibly a 1st down. Sean Malcolm shut it down, drove him out of bounds for only a gain of that back to the line of scrimmage of 5.
Kavion Bills back deep. He'll stand at the 40. Little knuckler. Bill says we're going to let it go. Takes a roll in favor of the Comets across the 40 and trickles its way down to the 36 with 13:22 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And there's conversations, guys, going on in the field. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, you brought up something when we saw photography the other day on the page and said, you know, that shouldn't happen because, guys, you're not even at 500 as a football team. There shouldn't be barking coming off this Hornet squad.
Well, I think, Mark, it goes towards the overall attitude of the team. We look at this team throughout the years. The way that they get their success is as long as they have their swagger. Whenever they have their swagger, they have their best success. They move forward. They move into a rhythm. It's a part of the attitude of this program. If they're able to get into it with intensity like that, I think it's all the better for them.
All right. 1st down and 10 for the Hornets at the 35. Pump fake, throw, taken out on the corner, all the way across the 40, down to the 46 as Jordan Gateway, the tight end, catches the ball. Gatewood. I haven't had a lot of chances to call his name.
And that's his 4th catch of the year. And that's the 7th total for tight ends.
1st down and 10 at the 45. Bakapuna, Elvis gets a gain of 2 on the play.
He's brought down by number 45 for the Comets.
It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8 right at the 43. Justin Honore in the game. Schmidt looks things over. Bakapuna, Honore in the backfield. 2nd down for the Hornets. Up by 21 as we get a flag on the play. Illegal procedure against the Hornets.
Prior to the snap. Full start.
And that's what they're going to do, move it back.
Penalty.
So we're going to move it back to the 48.
After the 5-yard enforcement, it brings up second down and 13.
Honore stays there. Wakapuna stays in the backfield. Schmidt hands it off to Honore, looking to get a block in the corner. Can't turn. Defense comes up big for the Comets.
Outstanding work by Divine, Green, and Talea.
Evan Strong on the tackle. Brings us to third down.
Third down and 15 at the 50. So they're going the wrong direction. Duffy comes to the near side of the field. Hicks goes the far side of the field. Bravo and Bevenu say, well, let's all team up on this side. Third down for the Hornets. Schmidt goes back, flings it deep down the middle of the field. Duffy pulls it in with one hand as they take it all the way down, and there's a flag on the play because he pointed down the field. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
And he was talking trash to the DB. He said something to the DB. He pointed down the field. That's not anything but, again, the reaction towards the defensive player who was, and the field just standing right next to him, draws the flag. And the officials don't want to let this get out of control, so you can understand why the flag was thrown.
So unsportsmanlike conduct against the Hornets.
At the end of the play,
So it should be a first down.
Catch of the year.
Yeah. Yep.
Even though you get it, again, the way he adjusted, like a center fielder catching a fly ball, it was thrown to the outside. He was looking to the end. He turns away from the ball, regains the sight and flight of it, and catches it with his left hand, and finally hits the ground, and it rolls into his right.
First down and 10 for the Hornets at the 32. Schmidt hands it off to Honore. Straight up the middle. Looks to cut the outside all the way down to the 10-yard line. They opened up a little sliver, and he slid through it to get it all the way down. And they're going to mark him down at the 9. It'll be first and goal for the Hornets.
21 yards, his long run of the game, or excuse me, of the season.
Hand it off to him this time on the right side. Gets met in the hole and gets a gain of maybe a half a yard.
Tackled there by number 31 for Palomar. That's Lucas Valencia. Second down, 9.
Yeah, I think Ryan Osborn's saving all his energy for that Dodger game today. Second and goal for the Hornets. 10:25 to go. Schmidt runs away from the pressure. Flips it across the middle. Incomplete pass as Bravo gets tied up right about at the 2-yard line.
Good coverage by James Coddington. Again, he's had 3 tackles, 2 pass breakups.
Guys, I do want to give a lot of credit to the offensive line for Fullerton. They played a much better game than last week. You look at the holes that they're opening up for Vakapuna. Vakapuna goes for 21 yards on a 3rd down and 5 to go. On this one for Honore, they opened up a hole for him there. They've also given Toby Schmidt a lot of time to be able to make adjustments inside the pocket.
10:17 to go. The Hornets. Honore pushes Schmidt. Across the middle. Touchdown! Fullerton College Hornets. Xavier Hicks catches it, and the Hornets get on the board to start the second half.
Good zip on that throw. He needed it, tried to catch the in-between before Valencia could come in and break that up. He beats the one step on Green, or excuse me, yeah, that's Green. Gets 6. Good throw by Toby. And that's the first touchdown for Xavier Hicks this season.
So a lot of sides. Spot the ball at the 10. Ball is spotted. The kick is up. And the kick is good. With 10-12 to go, it's the Hornets 28, the Comets 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Well, this was the offense everybody thought they might have seen at the beginning of the year, but it's been in a deep coma. And finally, the doctor said, you're not dead, you're still breathing, so let's wake you up now and see what might happen. And at least today, Mr. Osborn, they put up 28 points on the board.
They have, but you've also looked at Toby being very comfortable in the pocket today. He's stepping into his throws. You look at that one right there. He's in rhythm, takes 2 steps to his left, and when he's making that throw, his momentum and body are pointed directly at where the route is going to go. You look at the one on that far side of the field off to the right into the corner. Yes, it's a little bit underthrown, but again, he's comfortable in the pocket stepping into that throw. That's not something that he's had the chance to do in the last couple weeks.
Today it has worked. And now we'll see as we continue the second half if the Hornets can hold on to come away with a victory here at Palomar. Next week we're down here again. Grossmont here on SportsNetUSA.net. That game will start at 2 o'clock next weekend here on SportsNetUSA.net. Donnelly takes it. Cuts the outside, looks to get across the 20. He does, up to the 25. It'll be first down and 10 for the Comets.
And the Hornets going to bring in defense. The Calebs are out there. Smith and Hadley, Paul Boyce, and Oscar Madrigal. Up front, Giovanni Welch, Daniel Kletcher, and Kanye Parker are the backers. Safeties will be Gavin Stewart, number 14. 37 is Samaje Shepard. The far side corner will be, or near side corner, I should say, is Thaddeus Justin Jones. And the far side we'll see in just a moment.
Tapley comes back in at quarterback. Bosch at running back. First down and 10. Tapley goes back. Quick throw. Gain of maybe 2 on the play.
And so they got Justin Smith on the far side as the corner.
3-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 7.
So second down for the Comets. Hudson here on the mid side of the field. He steps up. Tapley goes back, throws it over this way, gets it to Donnelly. Donnelly gets a block that helps him out early on the pass. Every once in a while people say pass interference because that block is thrown while the pass is in the air. And it's a rarity that you see it get called.
Again, the offense doesn't get called, Mark, for pass interference.
Donnelly here to the near side of the field. Hudson with him. First down and 10 at the 40 for the Comets. Bosch goes from right to left. Handed off to Bosch. Straight up the middle. Gain of 2 on the play.
Ethan Charpentier checks back into the game and promptly another tackle. That's 6 for him today.
8:53 to go here in the third quarter. It's the Hornets 28, the Comets 0. Comets over the sideline trying to get a call. Reed in the slot to the far side of the field. Billups off his hip. Tapley goes back. Looks, feels the pressure. Sidesteps once, got to go down. Takes a little header, tries to get an extra yard. Gain of 1 on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 for the Comets.
Bring up a 3rd down and 7.
So let's see if Palomar goes down the field. They had success in the first quarter going down the field, and they've really been hesitant since that pick 6.
3rd down and 7. Tapley goes back. Here comes the pressure. Swings it up across the middle of the field. Throws it up. We get a flag on the play.
Doesn't matter. Aiden Billups, Mark, went up high, came down with it. Justin Smith was beat.
They call holding, so that'll be declined.
And Justin Smith needed to hold him because if he doesn't hold and drag him down, he makes that catch standing up. That would have been a touchdown.
So it's going to go all the way down to the 38. First down and 10 for the Comets. 8 minutes to go.
and 10.
Tapley comes in. Bosch at quarterback. Hornets see if they'll bring pressure. They haven't brought a lot. They're coming up the middle once again. Throw it where there is nobody and no tackles can get made. They're trying to strip the football, and it was nice catch and pitch down there as Hudson out of Rancho Buena Vista in Vista, California, moves the chains for the Comets.
And it looks like Andrew Tapley has gotten some rhythm and gotten that confidence back on those last 2 throws.
7:35 to go. Going all the way out to the left is going to be Billups. Look in the slot is going to be Reed. Tapley goes back, looks right over there. And the receiver, Reed, never looks, Corey. Tapley thought it was a 1-2. He was going to stop, throws the ball where he thought he was going to be.
No, I think it was the rush. I think it was Boyd, Harvey coming in there, and Palomalu who said, okay, yeah, you got to throw it early.
So Donnelly goes to the far side of the field along with Hudson. Basically, they flipped the field here. Billups comes to the near side of the field. 2nd down and 10 right at the 18. Tapley looks at things over. Hornets want to say they're coming. They are. Coming up the middle. Tapley tries to throw it, and that's a time, Corey Neyland, where he did feel the pressure.
Yeah, and he thought there was going to be a stop and go, and it just didn't materialize for Billups. I think Tapley was waiting to do a pump fake. Billups was waiting for the ball. Tapley was waiting for him to move up the field as Mo Gamage had the coverage. You might want to try to take advantage as he's 6'1". Mo is 5'9".
3rd down and 10, 7:16 to go. Hornets may come again. Bosch goes from right to left. Looks, going to the far side of the field. And Tapley is swallowed up by the defense.
And they're probably going to give a half a sack to each to Boyd and Zuniga. So if they give it a full sack, that's 4.5 for Chiffon.
So it's going to be a loss of 7. It'll bring up 4th down and 17 for the Comets. So the defense steps up, does something. Donnelly goes to the far side. In the slot next to him is going to be Aiden Billups. Near side of the field is going to be Hudson. 4th down and 17 for the Comets. Tapley sees him coming. Ball gets dropped. Feels it coming. Incomplete pass. It'll be a stop by Brian Crook's defense.
And then again, Mark, the last 3 plays, Brian Crooks' defense different on each play. They went man-to-man on that first one, and I think they missed an opportunity, the Comets did, to move the ball down the field and get a one-on-one on the right side. On the 3rd down play, they changed it again and went zone. 4 receivers and route. They dropped the linebackers and had double coverage on each, and they still got pressure. 4th down, they brought the backers, and there was no chance.
So the Hornets pitching a shutout, and they have 4 touchdowns out today. 3 on offense, 1 by defense. A little balance going out here.
And they scored a defensive touchdown, Mark, in the last 4 games.
1st down and 10. Now in the game, Duncombe, a running back. Missick Duncombe.
Number 2, McKissick Duncombe with the carry.
Hightower High School in Texas.
Gain of about 4, brings up 2nd and 6.
And he picked up a lot of strength on the offseason, but really hasn't had a chance to showcase. I mean, they've got 4 terrific backs that can do the job.
2nd down and 6. Hand it off to Duncombe again. Gets grabbed around the helmet. They finally bring him down with half the defensive squad jumping on top of it.
93, Moshi Tilei. Short loss on the play, brings up a 3rd down and about 8.
So the Hornets trying to run the football. 5:35 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Tight formation. Now Duffy goes out to the right. Bevenou goes with him. Now they come in a little tighter formation. Pump fake, throws it up, taken by Bravo. Bravo steps up, gets a 1st down on the play. So you like what Aiden Bravo did. He just goes out, throws to him, and then knows where the chains is so they can move him on. First down and 10 for the Hornets.
About a 12-yard gain and a Fullerton first down.
So 5 catches on the season for Aiden. And everybody's caught a ball on the outside for the Hornets that's been in the game, or actually except for Xavier Herbert.
Hand it off to Duncombe again. Gets out of a grab. Gets taken down after a gain of 11 on the play.
And Jacob Sisson makes the tackle. He's not a linebacker, but he's a defensive end, so they try to run a stunt to catch Fullerton off guard. He steps back. Duncombe reads it. And Andreas picks up that first down. He's probably the best run of the season for him.
Duffy and Bevenu come to the near side of the field. Hicks in the slot on the far side of the field. Missick Duncombe, the running back, just ripped off one for 12 yards. Toby Schmidt, first down and 10 for the Hornets. Duncombe goes in motion. Schmidt says, excuse me, I think I'll take a nap right about now.
Sisson and Hicks did a nice job. They just listened to that Herbie Hancock classic Headhunters. They went after Toby Schmidt. And that's their first sack of the game. First sack.
The silent man nods his head. Yes, it is. Ryan Osborn's still with us. You know what? I think he took too much cough medicine.
Mr. Go-Go Man makes it go.
Mr. Duncombe says, wait a minute, that hole is so huge. Am I supposed to carry the football?
Takes it back near the original line of scrimmage.
So the offensive line, the same unit,
Devine and Latua combined for the tackle.
has been in there.
Third
Walker
down and 11
at
for the
center, Cook, Kitchie, Frazier, and Jeffs.
You know, I thought Corey was singing a song. He said Kitschy. I was going to throw in Koo. Just because. Tate looks over and says, well, with 3:03 to go, that's how we're feeling today. Third down and 11. Right at the 49. Tate says, oops, I'm supposed to get it. Flings it up the middle of the field, and there is nobody there.
And so Palomar takes a page out of the Brian Crooks book and say, you know what, we haven't stopped him. Let's just bring everybody. Jaden Latua was there. And again, they drop back Sisson into coverage.
Yes, they did. Oh, just when I think he's going to wake up and say something, he goes back and takes a nap. Ball is dropped off the side of the foot, gets away, takes a bounce in favor of the Hornets, and on a bad snap, not a great kick, the Hornets end up smelling like roses with 2:42 to go. It's the Hornets 28, the Comets 0. Ryan Osborn, you look at this has been, it seems like it goes like this. They have a game that they're going to win. They look like they're dominant. Then they have a game they sleep in. Then they have a game they're going to win. I feel like I'm dealing with somebody who's a hypochondriac when I watch the Hornets.
But one thing that you can see that's consistent is this defense. Currently, just checked, they are the highest scoring defense in the state of California. They also have the second most sacks in the entire state of California as well. So you look at this defense, they get after it. It's just a matter of can they get that offensive consistency that they're looking for.
Incomplete pass. Will bring up a second down and 10.
I was going to say, speaking of consistency, the Comets have none since the first quarter. I mean, they look good in the first quarter, but as you guys said, that defense is taking them out of what they've wanted to do.
Williams comes on the near side of the field. Reed in the slot next to him. Second down and 10 at the 21 for the Comets. Go back over here. Taking an easy little catch to Jashawn Williams. Get a gain of 7 on the play.
And you think that's why it was so important for them to get that touchdown and get points on the board first to really try to control this ball game. But since that time, it's been all Fullerton.
Woods to the near side of the field. Reed to the far side of the field. Tate goes back. They're coming after him. Going over. Throws it over there. Overshoots Reed. That's going to bring up a 4th down.
He had him.
Number 37 for Fullerton. Samaje Shepard on the coverage. 4th down.
So the defense does what they've done all day, pitching a shutout with 2:06 to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's the Hornets 28, the Comets 0 on Sportsnet, USA.net. Bills back deep.
So they scored 4 straight on defense, and in that time they had special teams touchdowns as well.
High floater. Bill says get away from it. It was touched there at the 42. That's where it's going to be marked down. So 1:57 to do. The Hornets are going to get the ball back in great field position, up by 4. It's the Hornets 28, the Comets 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Make sure you stick around. Saddleback tonight here on Sportsnet USA.net. So this game gets done. We pack up our equipment. You stay with Sportsnet and get a little football from Saddleback College here on Sportsnet USA.net. Ryan Osborn will be flying home just so he can watch his team lose to one in the East Coast. Straight dive play at the middle.
Graylin Kelly.
Number 24, Graylin Kelly up the
Out of
middle.
Katy, Texas, Cinco Ranch High School.
He was brought down by number 31, Lucas Valencia.
Want to see him in the open field.
4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
So the Hornets, Bevenue to the near side of the field. Bills right next to him. Kelly at running back. Tate at quarterback. They hand it to him again. He's drugged down for a loss on the play.
Andy Devine breaks
And
to the line.
Devine said, I'd like to see you in the open field as well. Problem is, you're in the backfield if you're a Hornet fan. His 2nd tackle for loss.
1:09 to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's the Hornets 28. The Palomar Comets 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and the old guy. Bells are ringing in the background. We'll see if the bells bring anybody any luck. 42 seconds to go. Big 3rd down. Crowds trying to get him fired up. Going deep. Dropping it just off the fingertips. And Corey Neyland, I thought Bills was going to run underneath it. Incomplete pass.
If he finishes his route, he does. It's one of those things. Remember a few years ago when Fullerton had problems with the receivers finishing their routes and running them? That's exactly what happened with Kavion. He slows down just a little bit trying to gauge what the defender is going to do. If he streaks like the play is supposed to be, he catches it and walks into the end zone.
So it'll be 4th down for the Hornets. See if the Comets bring any pressure. We're going to get a delay game.
No, Daniel Kletcher was trying to do a tree pose and fell back.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 55. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Ball moved back to the 39-yard line after the penalty. Theorel will kick from there. He's kicking to number 3 for the Comets, Sky Donald.
Right now, we're going to be driving 100 miles an hour to get home tonight. End over end. Ball goes up. Out at the 25. So with 21 seconds to go, Fullerton feeling good
Rolls out at the 25.
here on Sportsnet USA.net. It's the Hornets 28, the Comets 0 on Sportsnet USA.net. Want to thank Joseph Pavlenko for giving us technical advice here on SportsNetUSA.net. Joe will be out next week at Saddleback with Ed Ford and the boys. First down and 10 for the Comets, right at the 25. Tate, quick little slant, cross the 30, down at the 31. So once again, making a nice little catch.
Second down for the Comets.
Whitehead's been quiet. As we come to the last 6 seconds, and that should bring us to the end of the third quarter. As we come to the end of the third quarter, it's the Hornets 28, the Comets 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, Gabby Neyland, and myself. Don't forget later on tonight, Bobcat football on Sportsnet USA.net. And then October 29th, a little Bobcat women's soccer. Cyprus plays Saddleback. All those teams knotted up on top of the OEC for women's soccer. And then November 1st, a little Husky volleyball. There'll be Albert Robles calling that. And then November 2nd at 1 o'clock, Don's football on Sportsnet USA.net, followed by Hornet football at 2 o'clock on November 2nd from Grossmont. Sports all around the corner here on Sportsnet USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, Gabby Neyland, get ready for the fourth quarter here of exciting community college football on Sportsnet USA.net. Andrew Tapley brings the team out, looking for that elusive touchdown here in this game today against Brian Crooks and his defense. Morales goes in motion, then stops. Counter with Morales all the way up to the 35. So up to the 35 as Relatoris gets a gain and moves the chains.
Mark, you mentioned that Whitehead has been quiet. He had 6 receptions in the first half. That was his first a moment ago of the second.
Hudson comes in near side of the field. Tapley throws it over. Hudson catches it. Gain of maybe a foot on the play.
Elijah Hudson is complete. Short gain on the play.
And with the new secondary in for the Hornets now, let's see if the Comets try to get downfield again.
Whitehead on the far side of the field. Donnelly comes in near side of the field. Tapley at quarterback. Goes back, looks for that little play. Just saw it again. Throws it once again, drops it off to Elijah Hudson. Hudson gets a gain of a couple more yards. It's going to bring up a third down and 6 for the Comets.
And the Hornets now, they're simply dropping back into coverage. So now would be a good time if you had your tight end in the ball game to leak something over the middle. But Sky Donald in the slot wearing number 3 in black. Look for him coming underneath.
Third down and 6. Here come the Hornets trying to get up to him. Quarterback gets away. Should have been tackled for a loss. He stays on his feet all the way out to the 50. First down for Palomar on a nice scramble by Andrew Tapley.
And we thought we were going to see Donald on that play. He didn't have time to get to him. It wasn't coming in, but he was open in the seam as Hudson was coming underneath.
First down and 10 for the Comets at the 50. Tapley goes back, throws it over to a sure-handed Whitehead who can't hold on to the ball.
And again, moving without catching it, without securing it.
So Jake Whitehead to the near side of the field. In the slot next to him is Tate Reed. Tapley drops the ball, goes down. So a loss of 3 on the play. It's going to bring up a third down and 13 for the Comets. Hudson to the far side of the field. Donnelly in the slot next to him. Reed to the near side of the field. There's a flag against the Hornets. Throw it over here. Nice little pitch and catch to Billups
Tapley's pass
as Aiden
complete. Number
Billups
16, Aiden Billups.
gets a nice
There
little
is a
thing.
penalty
So
flag on the play.
see what the Comets wish to do.
So on third down, short of the first down, they make it fourth. So they'll probably take the penalty, get 2 more plays.
I'd probably decline it.
You want to go 1 play for 4 yards or for 3 yards?
Replay third down.
So they're going to take Corey Neyland's
Outside on
advice.
Fullerton. We'll march it off 5 and replay the down. 3rd down and 8 for the Comets.
And I like this one. It gives you 2 chances.
The mime to my right agreed. Third down and 7 for the Comets. Tapley goes back, has a chance, drops it there, first down. Nice pitch and catch, because what you do is Hudson just settles down there, Corey, and he really does settles down in a spot where there's nobody there.
And a good jump off the ball by Oscar Burgueno. Damian Burgueno, excuse me. Damian's had an all-conference type of season as well.
Tapley keeps it himself, rolls out the outside. Thought he was going to outrun everybody and gets taken down for a loss on the play. Now, is that a sack, or because he ran, it's not a sack? He looked like he wanted to throw it.
I'm going to give, you know what? I'm going to give Ethan Charpentier a sack on that one. Ethan is quicker and faster than you think. Tapley had room, but he shut that down quickly.
Second down and 13. Tapley felt the pressure. Here they come again. Tapley across the middle of the field. Incomplete pass.
And again, nowhere to go to.
And Corey, for those who don't know, what is the differential there in establishing himself as a runner versus a sack?
I don't know. I just give him a sack because I want to see him get a sack.
That's what I like. Expert analyst.
No.
Third down and who knows what. The Comets are coming out. If I ask Corey, I'm not sure I'm going to get the right answer. Tapley says, well, you know what? Let me make it easy. Catches it at the 30. They're going to mark it at the 30. It should bring up. And the fans are saying he stuck the ball out, but he stuck the ball out of bounds, not in play.
If Tapley establishes himself as a runner moving out of the pocket and tucks the ball down, that's going to be considered just a tackle for losses. Even if he's out of the pocket, still looking downfield, not as a runner, let's say moving side to side, that's going to be a sack.
Hand it off to Kristen Hall. Kristen Hall hits the line of scrimmage, and they're saying, hey, he made it. It's going to be another stop by the defense, and it'll be first down for Fullerton College.
And you gotta wonder the play call there.
Number 40, Johnny
Fullerton's top unit was in the ball game. A 4th and 1, and it was a long one. They haven't been able to move the ball since the first quarter on that offensive line.
from the 30.
And then you've had those quick outs that's been working on this drive. You got to give yourselves opportunities to get back and move the chains. They did not, and the Hornets come back.
Max Martin is now in the game at quarterback, so Max comes in. First down and 10 at the 30, 28-0 with 11:18 to go. Max hands it off. Duncan Miska.
Missick Duncan.
Miska Duncan. I did it again. I got so excited about calling the 80-yard touchdown. Andreas Missick Duncombe goes 80 yards for a touchdown.
You've been waiting to call one of those.
I've been waiting all day long, and I switch the names. Shanola Prince and Prince Shanola. Who else's name did I used to do backwards?
Blake and Eric Hill was on that one, too.
Okay, Corey's helped me out here.
Great run by Andreas Missick Duncombe. He reads the hole, and of course, all three of us could have jaunted through that hole, and picked up 10 yards. Since he's young and fast, he picks up 68 and a 6.
Spot the ball, kick is up, and the kick is good. Well, you know what? His name got said 2 more times because I said it backwards, you said it forwards. And Prince Shinola Prince, he's out there listening to. He's going to say, oh, man, it's been 20 years and you still can't get my name right.
Oh, so the sophomore from Hightower High School, I believe that's his first touchdown of the season, his longest run of his career at Fullerton. And again, the work that they did on the offensive line, Preston Jeffs, Braden Cook on that right side, Hayden Frazier as well, Mikado Walker, Michael Kitchie. And if Michael's fam and friends are listening, correct me with that last name. I do apologize, but they've had their best game as a unit of the season.
See, at least when I say the names backwards, I know it's the right name backwards. I don't have to ask the family.
No, you don't. You get no credit for that. No.
Mark, you had the right guy.
I did.
So did I.
That's a good guy.
No, we don't get no credits for this.
Wow. Thank God I don't take the 145 class anymore.
Let's put it this way, Mark. Both you and I handed in a written paper.
Comets looking for something here. Donnelly takes it at the 2. Comes up, looks the outside. It's got an opening. Speed going. I love the way this young man runs the football.
Gets it back all the way out to the 34. That's where Palomar will take over.
I do too. I mean, he's one of those guys out there that you need on the team. Any team that you have, you want him on, but they haven't had a chance to flourish because they've been inconsistent.
First down and 10. Pitch out to the outside. Nice catch taken there.
Number 16, Aiden Phillips.
So, Andrew Tapley looking to do something. Long day for him with 10:43 to go here in the 4th quarter. Tapley looks to go. And nice defense by Justin Jones for the Hornets because made sure that Billups couldn't run the route.
Gavin Stewart brings up 3rd down.
No, it was Thaddeus. Thaddeus did a nice job. And again, it looked like Billups was blocking. He didn't get in the route, but Jones did a nice job of realizing he wasn't getting it.
3rd down and 7 for the Comets. Going over. At the 41, a hit. And I tell you what, if you're going to tackle, that's what you do. Keep the runner short of that, as Woods from Lincoln High School in San Diego thought he was there enough. It's going to bring up a 4th down, and the Hornets defense keeps the sheet clean.
And if Fullerton keeps playing this well and wins at least 3 of their remaining 4 games, we might be going where Braden is from. It's out of Bakersfield.
Looking for some free hot dogs. Beautiful, pretty catch. Signaled for a fair catch right at the 18, and that's where it's going to be. 9:43 to go. It's the Hornets 35, the Comets 0, here on sports@usa.net.
No, but going to what Corey was saying, it's going to be interesting coming down the stretch to see where all these conferences are going to finish off, especially division-wise. Like we talked about at halftime, you look at Mount Sac, their conference has 3 different undefeated teams. You look at Ventura's conference, 2 undefeated teams. You look at this conference, Riverside is right there, plus the 2 teams directly behind them, only with 1 loss in their division. There's a lot of different bowl possibilities, not just for Fullerton, but all across Southern California, just based on how well these teams have gone.
Max Martin hands it up. Dive play straight up the middle, a gain of 4 on the play. Yeah, and that's the thing that's, you know, when you think about the teams that are undefeated, and you know there's only so much room to play for the state championship, there's going to be a lot of disappointed teams this year on that point.
Well, if I remember correctly, I counted 6 undefeated teams in conference, not overall, but in conference, going into the final 4 weeks of the season, and there's only 4 spots that can be filled. Not to mention there's 6 other one-loss teams that have matches against those undefeated squads.
Yeah, so it could be a mishmash of who knows what when this happens. We get a flag on the play.
Meets a lot of comments. Divine was there first.
So we'll see who it's called. And normally that would be, they're looking over at the Comet bench, so it's going to be against the Hornets.
One of those teams, Ryan, you mentioned is Long Beach. And Long Beach.
Illegal formation.
So legal formation against the Hornets, going to move them back.
Illegal formation called on the Hornets. Move it back 5 yards. It'll make it 2nd and 11.
Long Beach has yet to play Golden West and yet to play Mount Sac. Mount Sac and Golden West have not played yet.
Yeah, so Long Beach could beat Riverside. Riverside could beat, huh?
They already lost to Riverside.
Oh, they did? Oh, okay. And as you get 11, 12, 14, 15, 16 guys trying to make the tackle on that for the Comets. Well, okay, I added a few on the field just to make the tackle.
And El Camino yet to play Ventura, the 2 undefeated teams in that conference. And then you have Riverside alone in the South, National Southern Division.
Max Martin at quarterback for the Hornets. Graylin Kelly in at running back. Get timeout Hornets. So with 7:55 to go here on SportsNetUSA.net, it's the Hornets 35, the Comets 0 on SportsNetUSA.net. So when you look at it, Ryan, I mean, you look at it and everything else. You look at what you've looked at. Corey's looked at what he's looked. I know both you guys have thought Riverside should be the team to beat. Mount Sac should be the team to beat. Golden West, do we know what they really are?
I think they're still trying to find their identity, but they should be right there coming towards the end of the season. Honestly, if I'm going to look at a team that may not necessarily win the state title, but that has a lot to do with how the rest of the season is going to go, I'm going to look at Saddleback. Because Saddleback has 2 different matchups coming up at the end of the season that are going to determine not only their conference, but who will be the wild card team across the other 2 conferences as well. I think Saddleback, if they're able to win out, not only will they win their own conference championship, but they can really determine who goes to the state playoff as the wild card.
Wow, that's interesting.
You swinging for the fences, trying to hit like an extra inning grand slam on that one.
Maybe even with 3 guys on.
Yeah, I knew they shouldn't have walked the guy in front of you. Straight up the middle, dive play again, all the way out to the 28-yard line. Another Graylin Kelly run on a street dive play.
Ball carried by Graylin Kelly.
And the team,
Brought down by Lucas Valencia of the Comets.
with the team you look at, it might be, if they can play the best game of their lives, San Diego Mesa against Riverside on November 9th. That could be the game because Riverside's already got 1 loss, but no loss in conference. If San Diego Mesa would somehow win that game, make it a whole lot interesting.
So we'll see what happens as the season continues with 7:07. High snap, taken down, signaled for a fair catch, and it's taken there at the 42.
And there should have been a penalty, but not. I'll give you a scenario. If San Diego Mesa were to beat Riverside on that night, on that day, they would have the advantage with only one loss, if they beat Southwestern, then beat Riverside. Riverside, with 2 losses on the season, they don't make the playoffs. Golden West beat them. If Golden West would somehow beat Mount Sac, then Mount Sac, Golden West would get there if Riverside were to lose.
No, you're absolutely right, Corey. And it kind of calls back to last season, plain and simple, where you had 2 different conferences where you said, all right, both conference champions are definitely going to go, but they each had one other team that could have vied for the wild card spot. I mean, you looked at Golden West, if I remember correctly, they were also either one loss or undefeated going into the final game against Mount Sac, needed a win against Mount Sac to get themselves into the playoff, and if they had done that, it meant that the wild card would be Mount Sac and Riverside would have been out.
Yep.
KJ Catham now in at quarterback for the Comets. Run up to the 50. Nice run taken there all the way up to by William Jones.
Near midfield. 3rd and 2.
Chatham on the season came into the game 22 of 46 with 244 yards and 2 touchdowns. Another Lincoln High School product. So, good win for Fullerton?
Yeah, I think a good win for Fullerton. Throw it over here in the flat. Just across the 50. It all depends where they mark it.
I think you give it to him.
They did give it to him.
Tate Reed on the receptions.
So, Tamar Fairman gets some time. Gavin Stewart in the secondary,
Ball spotted on the 49
along with Samaje Shepard and Justin Smith. Razan Parker is one of the backers. Number 10, 33 is Jalen Hanford. 51 is Braden Weddle. Caleb Smith, number 58 on the near side end. 49 is Angel Massas. Paul Boyce, 91 on the interior, and Caleb Hadley.
Jones still in at running back. Fake it to Jones. Pump fake. Pump fake, trying to make the corner. And there's a young man with speed out there, and you can't teach that as KJ just takes off running after he pump fakes it twice for the Comets. And you know what? You sort of like that, seeing him realizing it's a foot race against the linebacker. I should win it.
And I said Caleb Hadley in there. That's actually Robert Smith, number 62 on the interior for the Hornet D.
Second down and 5. Little turn taken right there by Jones. Jones all the way down to the 25.
Jones off the right side. 20-yard gain.
So he makes the turn, and Corey Neyland, he just keeps moving.
Comet first down.
2 young people that now have come into the game for the Comets that can give you that idea of, you know what? Maybe we have something here with this tandem. First down and 10 at the 25 for the Comets. Down 35-0 here in the 4th quarter. Pressure coming. Ball thrown across over the middle. Dropped off to Williams. Williams gets down to the 11.
Flag on the play.
And if it's against Palomar, I'm not sure we agree with that one. No, that one, okay. I thought they were going to call a hold. Yeah, they were down the field.
So, if you sneak down past 3 yards, you get called for it.
And officials, they've done a good job tonight, or today. But that was a good job by Chatham. He waited in the pocket, and what they hadn't done all game was waiting for that receiver to clear, because that extra second allowed him to clear.
Hudson to the near side of the field. 1st and 15, goes back, looks in Hudson's direction. Hudson comes over there, gets a nice little run all the way down to the 20.
9-yard gain on the play. 2nd down and 5.
Morales tied in to the near side of the field. Relatoris right behind him. Throw it over. Sidestep. Misses the gentleman, and Relatoris gets all the way down to the 9-yard line.
He takes the ball all the way down to the 9-yard line.
Like the way he danced on that sideline without going out of bounds. Gavin Stewart was lining him up, had him, missed him.
So it'll be 1st and goal for the Comets with 2:48 to go here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Flipped over, incomplete pass, good defensive play on Williams.
Justin Smith, dangerous throw by Chatham, because if Justin had broke one step sooner, that's not a deflection, that's another defensive touchdown.
Tate Reed comes into the game. Hudson comes to the near side of the field. Morales at tight end. Second and goal from the 9. Across the middle of the field. Oh, should have been, could have been, was not.
Right, Braden Weddle was there, flying through the air, hit him right in the chest, and he knew, you know what he was doing. He was looking, hey, can we get 200-yard touchdown interceptions?
He was looking for an angel food cake. He was biting onto that one, ready to take off running.
That's why he dropped it.
Angel food cake?
Yeah, nobody likes that.
Third and goal for the Comets. Had somebody wide open. And Corey, you've got somebody out in the flat.
There is a flag down on the play.
So it's going to keep the drive alive.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 51.
Brian Cricks just looked at the official and said,
the pass interference gives the Comets an automatic first
If
down.
I saw it correctly, the defender had his head away. Receiver ran into him.
I didn't see it. See,
Yeah.
I mean, I never saw the penalty. I thought when he threw the flag, it was something else. First and goal for the Comets. Trying to get on the board with 2:31 to go. Comets thought they had a touchdown. Jones turns the corner. Corey, he looked like he was getting on the freeway, and then somebody was coming off the wrong direction.
Samaje Shepard, played Don Penn, said no. No. You stop. Shepard, a tremendous tackle.
Tried again. Smothered. Did he crawl in? No. So Jones
over the right
doesn't get in. And that is going to take us to the 2-minute timeout. here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Yeah, jump in there, man. Miscues, how come I'm the only one that gets the miscue on my card?
No, I was taking a look at the record book over the last 15 minutes, trying to find the last time that Fullerton pitched 2 zeros in a single season. And you have to go all the way back to 1988, where Fullerton was the state runner-up. That is the last time that they had 2 zeros that they put up in the exact same season. One was against Mount Sac, one was against Cerritos. They also repeated that same thing in 1986 and 1984.
You know what's interesting? You have to go back to 1974 to find the 145 class not having more than 4 zeros in one class.
It was just like both of you guys with names. They all turned in a written assignment.
It's all somebody we knew playing ball with.
Hey, you know what?
No,
Their
but
families know we love them here
Yeah,
on sports@usa.net.
Yes, we do. And Samaji, that was a great tackle to prevent that touchdown. And the Shepherds, I apologize.
Wait a minute, did he just say he wanted shepherd pie? Oh, you wouldn't eat that, would you? Because there's meat. It's a meat pie, I think.
There's no crust on a shepherd's pie. It's just mashed potatoes, meat.
I didn't say there was a. When did I say there was a crust?
I'd also like to point out the crust is the best part.
Oh, man. Stopped again.
And
No touchdown.
Latua didn't bring the ball over the goal line, so he's short, and it'll bring up a 4th
Latua
down.
on the carry. No signal yet.
Fourth down. For those of you who know the recipe of a good shepherd pie, send it to us here at sports@usa.net.
It's not a pot pie. There's no crust on a shepherd's pie. If it's got mushroom in it, I won't eat it.
Oh, quarterback sneak. Ball came out. Does
And
the Hornets come away with it?
Well, it was 4th down, and they didn't pick up the touchdown, so it's their ball either way. Another mishandled snap at the 1 for Palomar.
And it looks like the defense is going to pitch that 0 you were talking about, shepherd pie or not.
Well, remember, Mark, since they are pinned back that far, they do have to make sure that they, with the offense, are able to get a little bit of clearance from the goal line first. It's like Corey getting clearance from a crust on a pie.
I love shepherd's pie,
Unless it's got mushrooms.
unless it's got mushrooms. You can do without the onions,
Or
too.
I was going to say,
No
or
onions, no mushrooms. We're good to go.
Yeah,
That is a successful shepherd's pie.
and if you put a crust on it, I'd still eat it.
It's a 3-day-old crust on it, but that's okay.
That's flavor.
Sneak the ball out so they can do what Ryan Osborn said to do with 1:11 to go. So Martin sneaks it out.
5-yard line.
I thought you were just keeping me quiet. I was going to be obliging.
Mark, you look at this defense and how they performed today. Traditional, if you will, from Fullerton. They put on a clinic. But you look at the offense, a lot of credit has to go to the offensive line and Toby Schmidt today for how comfortable they looked and how they were able to make sure that drives continued, whether it be with the explosive play or the ability to just prolong a play enough to get the spacing they needed.
This really was a team win because everybody did what they needed to do. It wasn't one-sided where you said the defense couldn't stop somebody or on the other side where the offense couldn't score. It was a true team win today, and that says a lot for the coaching staff.
Yeah, and for the first time since 1988, in fact, you can go back to October the 8th of 1988, a 30-0 win over San Diego Mesa. That is the last time that Fullerton College had 2 shutouts in the same season. 1988, they came in as the state runner-up, and they do it again in 2024.
So with that shutout, the Hornets now even up their overall record. The Hornets come away with a 35-0 victory over the Palomar Comets here on Sportsnet, USA.net. For Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, Gabby Neyland, and the old guy, we just want to say one more time, your Hornets come away victorious over the Comets today here on Sportsnet, USA.net.